Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Tiff and Jack Show, a podcast devoted to helping you dump the overwhelm and live the happy, because you living your best life now matters.
Yes, it does.
I'm Jack.
I'm Tiff.
We're so glad to be here with you today.
So we have some awesome things to
we haven't even
today.
said what episode we're talking about.
What is it?
Episode 29.
Oh,
and it's going to be amazing. No apology necessary. 10 things you should never apologize for.
Right.
That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
And coming from someone that spent a lifetime apologizing for everything all the time.
Oh my gosh.
I no longer do that. But I sure did. I was always apologizing for everything.
I wasn't.
No, you weren't.
Maybe I needed to apologize a little bit more. Oh,
well, this will be a great podcast coming from both ends of the spectrum.
That's true.
Today.
That's how it always is.
It is. It really is.
It is.
Two halves of a whole.
So let's talk about our week, shall we?
Yeah, before we do that, I'd just like to have a little shout out for all the crazy tragedy and things that have been happening all around our world, from mass shootings to terrorists to natural disasters. And there have been a lot of things going on, creating a lot of trauma and disruption and pain and suffering for many. And also within that structure is a lot of help and hope and people helping people, and the best of people coming out to support the people around us, all of us working together. And just to remember that if you're someone that's directly impacted by one of these things, we feel for you today.
Yeah.
And that we have you in our heart and our mind as we record our podcast, and we're going to go on and we're going to laugh and talk about some things. And we just want you to know that we're here to help you get rid of and move through and help you through this overwhelming time in your life, if that's where you are. And if not, let's all rally together and help each other.
Absolutely.
In any way, we're all here with something to bring to the world, to share our gifts with humanity, and you're included and we're included, and we're here to help each other. So let's keep doing that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amen.
So, yeah, amen. And before we move into our topic today, before I get too busy on task, I'd like to just we'd like to invite you to coach with us. If you've ever been curious about the possibility of doing some coaching with Tiff and I, that is what we do. Aside from this podcast is also what we do, and have fun is also what we do. But coaching is what I'm talking about right now. If you are curious and interested, it starts with you filling out a consult application, and I will put a link in the show notes, or you can jump over to our website, tiffandjack.com, and there's a link on that site for you to jump in and fill out the application as well. We'd love to have you here. It would be great. Our office is in Salt Lake City, Utah, but we do Skype all over the world. So
and we do couples coaching.
Sweat. Yeah, we do.
And we do private coaching, and we just do all kinds of coaching. So whatever you're looking for, I can guarantee you we can help you do it.
Amen.
Yes. Okay.
The week.
It's
been a pretty quick week.
Yeah, now that your back's not hurting.
Oh, right. Our last podcast was me recording right when my back had gone out. And
did we do that during that time?
Right at the beginning, I believe.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah, because I talked about it, right? I mean,
I think you did.
We actually had a few sessions with clients when I was, by the end of the session, sweating it out from pain so bad that I didn't know what to do.
Oh my gosh.
But let me tell you,
terrible.
It was pretty
terrible.
Interesting. It was, but I can tell you, I have newfound empathy for back pain. I have newfound empathy for pain. And I have learned even more about patience and being patient. And I couldn't even sit to work on my computer, which really chapped my hide. It was very frustrating.
Yeah.
But I would say I'm 99.1% back. I get a little twinge every now and then.
Do you?
Yeah, just every now and then.
Well,
I can feel it. But
you are a trooper.
I'm being very aware and strengthening my core muscles, which is what we all need to do.
Now I know for sure you're going to be doing things to prevent backs going out ever again, because that is how Jack works.
That's my MO. let's just take care of things.
Yes. And it's actually just been a catch-up week. We've had a lot of plans this week to get ready for vacation.
Because we're going on vacation and we are stoked. We're heading to the ocean. Little San Diego action. Looking forward to it. It's going to to be fantastic.
Yeah, it really
is. San Diego, watch out.
Yeah,
we're coming your way. Oh, it'll be fun.
Yes. Any big news this week for you?
I'm just sitting here racking my brain, because when you're on a podcast and we're live and I can see all of our voice in this recording, and I'm thinking, shit, I didn't think about this. Let's see.
Well, I have a big thing.
Oh, you do? I'm looking at it right now.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh. What is it? What do you think I'm going to say?
I know exactly what you're saying.
What?
You cut your hair.
I did. 6 inches off. This is a very big deal, folks. 6 inches off my hair. I have embraced the sexy middle-aged woman instead of the younger sexy woman.
It's a beautiful thing. It's called acceptance. Let's just walk forward and accept the wisdom and the that happens.
We have been talking a lot about what women think about themselves, and we've been engaging with people from other countries, learning more things about the way people believe and think, and I've been thinking a lot about myself, as I'm 46, and I have 6 grown children, and we're running a business that is a very deep business, in the way of we're dealing with very deep things and working with people to create the lives they want. We're living our best life. And I'm noticing I have some wrinkles and things on my face that are new. And I'm really having a deep appreciation for where I am in life right now. And so I have reinvented my look.
Ooh, it's super sexy too. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. It's good.
I'm so glad you like it.
I love it.
It makes things better when you like what I'm doing.
It always feels good that way.
It does.
For both of us.
I know.
For sure. So, and ultimately you have to do what you want to do for yourself within us, right? Within
absolutely.
The structure of us. And I found it very fascinating and interesting, because Tiff is a very public figure on Facebook. She's the Facebook face for Tiff and Jack. And she just mentioned she's going to go get her hair cut. And I was so surprised and shocked, a little discouraged, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. But all the negative, the people that are saying, most of the men saying, no, don't do that. What? And scared faces, like, what are you doing? I found it so enlightening and fascinating to think that anyone, first and foremost, would have such a strong opinion to tell you what you should or should not do with your hair.
Well, here's the deal, is when you are in the public eye, people have an opinion about every move that you make and everything that you do, and we know that. And I knew full well that people would have an opinion about my hair, and people that also know me, including you, my sweet husband, knows that if someone doesn't approve of my hair, they can kiss my ass.
I know. You don't. So, I just found it curious.
It was interesting, huh?
All of the comments coming in, and there definitely was some strong support. Great, so excited. That's wonderful. And do you like it? Are you enjoying it?
No, nobody asked me that.
Nobody did.
No,
not one person asked.
No one except my BFF.
Wow, interesting. And I think about it, and probably the reason I get a little triggered about it, honestly, is because all the work that I've done to be who I am, to bring who I am to light, being a trans man and transitioning from female to male sex body, and if I listened or gave credence to what anyone was saying to me about why I shouldn't do it, or their fear, or their upset. I know we're just talking about your haircut, but it's a really big deal, because you, our listener, you have things to do in this world that probably will ruffle feathers. The people won't agree with you. They're going to think, no, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that? And ultimately, you're going to have to fucking stand up and do it.
Totally.
And we're just talking about hair, but hair is just a small.
Well, picture. if I was a person that was very that I really was concerned about doing things the way people would like me to do them, I could have had my feelings hurt a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
I even got a private message from someone that said, it is the most shocking thing to have a chick that you know.
A chick.
Yeah, I got called a chick.
That does not
chick
work.
that you know cut her hair without any forewarning. And to me, I just thought, well, okay. You know, it was fine. But it's like the reason that I do what I do is so that I feel in alignment with myself. And I'm really pleased with my hair. Merb, I'm giving a shout out to Merb. She comes here every 6 weeks to do hair. She's amazing. And we call her the hair whisperer. She's pretty awesome. And she came and I gave her a picture and I said, here is what I want. And she did exactly what I wanted.
She did.
Amazing, right?
She did. She did a great job. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so
I love your hair. It looks very sexy, very youthful. You look incredibly sassy and alive.
I am sassy and alive, man.
Yeah, you look good.
Thank
really
you.
Sexy. Really
Thank
good.
you. Just before we get started, when we were just talking, I was thinking about the conversation we had in our bedroom a few years ago when you were talking about transitioning, and you had your concerns about me and the kids and family, and of course all those things came up. And I remember saying to you, I want you to make this decision based on what you want. Even if I said, don't you dare do it, you have to know for yourself that this is what you're going to do, even if I don't agree.
Yeah, that was.
Do you remember that?
Oh, I will never forget that. Actually,
Yeah.
It was making this decision for me to transition was the hardest and biggest, far-reaching decision I've ever made. Truly, ever, that I knew would affect me and everyone around me at the deepest level. And I also had a very strong knowing that making this decision could very well change all of my family dynamic of the family I grew up in, because of the strong religious nature and the religion being against doing anything like this with your body. So against.
Yeah.
I can't even impress upon you enough how against it the LDS Mormon religion is against transitioning. That you should never do anything. You should never change what God has given you. And I always, and Tiff actually brought this up. So does that mean if somebody was blind and there was a surgery that would allow them to see they were born blind, essentially it would be changing what quote unquote God gave you? Right? So it loses its power of argument.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, even think of someone that's born without a leg. It's like, oh, I'm not going to wear a prosthetic and fix this
because God gave me a deformed leg.
Right. And we're not saying that being a trans person means that, you know, it's a mistake or it's a birth defect or it's deformity, but it is something for many trans people that they feel needs to be addressed so that they can feel more
live their best life now.
Live their best life now.
And that's all it is. It's that simple. And that's our whole purpose, is we are living our best life now. We know what it takes to do it. We know the fears we had to overcome. We know how hard it was to get divorces and how to walk away from a religion because you no longer fit there within the parameters. And tell all your kids that you raised up in a certain religion that you are stepping away to do something different. And we know how hard it is.
We understand rejection on the deepest level.
On the deepest level you could ever get.
That's why I can cut my hair and people can say,
oh, I can't believe you would do that.
No,
I didn't think I would like you.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think I would like you with short hair.
I'm
like, oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like you with short hair, but I really love it. And I'm like, well, that's okay.
That's okay.
I don't, either way.
I can hate it. I'm gonna do it. So we understand, we understand what it takes to live your best life.
Yeah. So,
and that's why we do what we do. And that's why we're having the podcast today. And we're going to go in depth about why you should stop apologizing about these 10 things.
Yeah. I love these.
Let me give a little credit, because I was doing on our Instagram page, which would invite you over to follow and be a part of our Instagram. We'd love to follow you. Give us a shout out, Tiff and Jack. Surprise, surprise. But I saw this meme as I was going through my page and I loved it. And I need to give credit. It comes from powerofpositivity.com. which is a great little website. I hopped onto it. They have a lot of really great positive articles.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yes, anything that brings more positivity into our world is such a good thing.
Right.
But they have this meme, 10 things you should never apologize for.
And we loved it. So we're going to go into depth on each of these 10 things.
Yeah, we're going to use
clear
their top 10 ideas, but we're going to go in depth from our angle.
Right. So if you're an apologizer, this will really help you. Most of us spend some time in life being very apologetic for not being a certain way. And these are 10 simple things that you can stop apologizing for. And we're going to help you understand why you don't need to apologize for them. You want to start?
Yeah, number one, needing alone time. Do you feel like you shouldn't need alone time?
Yeah. What about you? Have you ever felt that way?
Oh my God, my whole life. Until, no, not my whole life. I'd say until about 10 years ago.
Okay.
I really did not. I felt that I should never be taking alone time.
Mm-hmm. And why is that?
Because I felt like I should be serving and doing things for others continually, so that I was doing the right things, that I was being righteous or good.
Well, one thing that I do know is if people have a struggle taking alone time, they usually are afraid they're going to disappoint another person because someone else has an expectation of them.
Right.
And what I can tell you about alone time is that is the time that you take for yourself to get clarity again in your mind, to do things that will be self-care related. Alone time, you need to ask yourself the definition of alone time. For some people, alone time means playing a video game, and for another person, it's meditating. So you need to get clear on what kinds of things you want to do in your alone time, and make sure that they feel good to you, and then do those things. And we suggest that you have alone time at least every day, a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, every single day. And then let's just, if you're an introvert or an extrovert, even if you're an extrovert, you still need your alone time.
Yeah, I'm a huge extrovert.
I definitely need my alone time.
I need alone time. And
what does your alone time look like?
Mine? Alone time, I do a lot of things like I will meditate, I will think, I will read, I will lay in bed, I will watch a show. And it's kind of just the time where I just, it's a clearing my energy type of time.
So I have a question about that for you.
Okay.
Would you say that when you're laying in bed doing your favorite thing on a Saturday morning, talking to all your friends, here and there, do you feel like that's alone time?
Yep.
I wondered.
Yeah. Because even though now, if the person was in my room with me physically, it wouldn't be alone time. No. But like Saturday mornings is the time that I just like to lay in bed until about noon.
Yes, you do.
Right?
Yes.
I know.
It's adorable.
Should I feel ashamed about saying that? I think some people might think I should, but I just love it.
Morning bedtime.
Because so here's what I love to do, is I love to have my treats and lay naked under my soft blanket, so it's on my flesh. And then I'll talk to a few of my friends on Facebook Messenger. And I laugh so hard because I can just relax. I don't have to think about doing anything. And before you know it, it's noon and I'm like, oh crap, I probably should get up. But then I'm like, maybe not. So yeah, that is alone time to me.
That would never be alone time to me.
I know, but
my alone time cannot include talking to anyone.
See, that's
the difference. Yeah, my alone time must be.
Yeah, my alone time, I can be talking to people.
Where I don't have to do business. I don't have to follow up on anything. I don't have to do anything other than what I choose, which ultimately I could call some of my alone time when I'm working.
Right.
I can call my alone time when I'm sitting out doing Sudoku and it's a cool morning because we're in fall and the leaves are changing on the trees and I have my hot coffee sitting there on the arm of the Adirondack chair that I'm sitting in. And I have my Sudoku opened up on my lap and I'm going through the rows and the columns, the 1s to the 9s. And that is premium.
That's so sexy.
I love that. Another alone time that I love is I'll take the dog for a walk and I pop in my earphones and I listen. I've been listening to Garrett John on YouTube, I think wayseer.org or something.
Yeah.
I love his stuff. Okay, it expands me. because it's music and video, and it expands me, and I feel big and vast and alive and unstoppable. And I can see so clearly what we're doing here on this planet, what my purpose on this planet is. And it's what I'm doing right now by doing our podcast and helping you live your best life, by us sharing with you how that we are and how to do it, and that it's possible, and that the universe has our back. And oh my God, I love it. And I come back from that walk invigorated and enlivened and expanded.
You're such a passionate person.
Oh my God,
you are so passionate.
I just
want to bite your cheek.
My passion is pretty damn big.
It is.
I'm
so glad.
In fact,
I'm so glad about it.
When I was making all these big decisions to transition and to be in a relationship with Tiff and to leave the Mormon religion, I was getting labeled as extreme.
Oh gosh.
And I'm fine. I can handle that now. At first it pissed the shit out of me. I took it as a negative thing. Now I take it as a positive thing, as just being a very passionate person.
Yeah, you know what I say extreme means? Extreme is a definition that someone gives someone else because you're not doing it their way.
Yes, I know. It's so true.
So, fuck off is what I say.
So be you, okay? We are here. We've got your back.
Oh, because I'm not doing it your way. I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that takes us right into number 2, speaking your mind.
Yeah, and we really have to get clear, even the listener. It's like, when you think of speaking your mind, what is your definition? Because some people will be like, speaking your mind as being a rude jerk, like, I'm going to speak my mind.
Oh yeah, true. We do need to get clear.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is, being willing to speak about what is on your mind, what your thoughts are, or what your feelings are.
Yes.
And we'll go more into feelings, but this is about thoughts. So speaking your mind, what are you thinking about? Yeah, because your thoughts are going to be completely different than every other person on the planet. And you have the same right as a human being to speak your mind as anyone else does.
Yeah, Tiff, there was a time in my life where I didn't ever speak up too much. Do you remember?
That is so true.
It was a few years ago, and I realized that I wasn't engaging. So we'd be sitting in a conversation, and because I am someone that reflects deeply by my nature upon the things that people are talking about, I was slow to engage part of my story into the equation.
And you also had to do clearing that people didn't care about what you said.
Well, that is a big reason why I wasn't doing it. That's part of the thought work clearing. That's what we do in our coaching with you, is help you clear those thoughts that tell you need to shut the fuck up because no one wants to hear what you have to say.
Or a million
other beliefs. So I was doing work on that, and it is a very different scenario for me now. When we go out, I know how to share. I know how
I love
engage and put myself into the conversation and actually share.
It's so good. When you share things and we're talking to people, I totally love it.
You always say that, and that is so.
I love it.
Boosts me up when I hear you share that to me.
Well, really you always share different nuances of different experiences that we both experienced, but your perspective on things is just super sexy.
God, thank you. I
appreciate
just love
that
a lot.
And this makes me remember a couple of times with you when you didn't speak up, that later we discovered that, oh my gosh, I wish you would have, or you're like, oh, I should have.
Yeah.
And it was one of them is about the pans, and it still gets me to this day.
Oh, because I had the nicest pans. We're moving in together. And Tiff was like, oh, let's get rid of these.
Let's get rid of your pots and pans.
I'm like, okay,
because these are nice.
I'm not a real kitchen
person. Oh my gosh, when I found out that they were
very, very nice,
very expensive pans, and mine was the cheap shit from some store, and I'm like, babe, why didn't you tell me that these were like quality chef pots and pans? And I'm a chef, and I should have known that, but I was always so damn poor all my life in my first marriage. So
that set of pans was actually a big deal. I remember when your ex-husband gave those to you.
Yeah,
and for you, that was probably one of the biggest gifts that he had given you, honestly. Yes. So I knew your attachment to that. Yeah. That mattered to me too. But I also realized that I really could have and should have
said, well, I just want to tell you.
Let me tell you about these pans so you can make a better decision. Or choose for yourself.
Right.
And
I would have kept your pans.
Yeah, you would have.
And I would have left the other ones.
Now we're just buying those pans.
I know that I have all fine. I have amazing pans. But yeah, that was interesting.
It was.
as we talk about these things, we're going to share some of our personal experiences with this, because these are things that we now know that we don't have to apologize about. And we want you to feel the same way, because it just will give you relief in your life.
Yeah.
And you know how we feel about getting relief.
Yeah, right? That's a big part of what moves you forward.
In manifesting.
Just the smallest amount of relief gives you momentum.
Yes.
And manifesting more of what you want. So I need to say really quick before we move on. Speaking your mind, you, our listener, we want you to speak up. We want you to share. We want you to be more inclusive of yourself in conversation if you aren't already. And to know that you matter. Your story matters. How you feel about something matters. Open your mouth and share. And really take a look into your life where you may be holding back and not sharing who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So stop it.
It's so easy.
Right. Okay, what's our
Number
next?
3 is asking for help.
Oh, that's really good.
I know. Don't
Really
apologize
good.
for asking help. And why is it important to ask
Oh,
help? And I should ask you, since you
just
had your back.
How apropos. Well, asking for help. You know, I just heard someone else on the podcast talking about asking for help. When we ask for help and say we need help, well, how did it make you feel? And I remember standing in the kitchen and I couldn't walk. I couldn't get my leg to work. And because when I would step on it, I would get such excruciating pain that I could put no weight on my leg. And I'm standing there and I looked at her and I said, I need help. How was that for you? Because it didn't feel very good to me when I was saying it, but you sure helped me.
Well, I, of course, have no problem ever assisting you when you need help. So
I know you're so good.
But you had such a hard time. I could feel.
God, this
I could feel it. Okay.
Every time I couldn't even like roll over in bed and I'm like, Tiff, I need a hand. Tiff, could you get this for me? Tiff, could you go do that? Tiff, could you? Oh Lord, it was great. It was great. I learned a lot.
And I'm pretty helpful,
you
aren't I?
You helped me so much. I know that about you already.
Yeah.
I didn't need to.
You know, there are times in life when we all need assistance. And
no matter what.
And listen, if you expect someone to read your mind and know you need help, forget about it.
It's not going to happen.
It will not. And you'll feel hurt and picked on and like, well, they should know. No one ever calls to check on me.
Nope.
That kind of stuff. You have to take your own life into your own hands and say, oh, I am really struggling. I could use some assistance.
I know that you're going to be battling some pretty big beliefs that if I ask for help, it makes me weak, or that's all bullshit stories that we're telling ourselves. That's the belief, the thoughts need to be cleared out. So you can just engage in life. And when you're down and out, or even if you just need a little assistance, by you asking, always ask. You never know. You know
what? I was impressed with our son the other day because he sent me a text. It was like 8:00 at night. We were just getting done with our last client. And he's like, I've been sick. You don't happen to have any medicine or soup, do you?
He's like, I have $30 to last me till a week and a half from now.
Yeah, and so I was so glad that he reached out because he's in college. He's living in his own place. Like, it's not like I have tabs on our adult kids all the time. And I was just thrilled to be able to come home and make some soup and get it to him and take some cookies and bread and some medicine.
You know, I loved watching you be the mother of our children. And if I think too deeply about it, I could just cry every time I think about it. I am so elated to have this beautiful, soft, and powerful woman in my life to be the mother of all of our children, because I love our children. I would die for every one of our kids. And to know that they have this soft mothering space, because even me as their mother, giving birth to 4 of our 6 kids, I wouldn't say I was the soft, affectionate place, although I was the encouraging place. I loved my kids. I loved raising them and giving them all the experiences I could. And, you know, I was a lot about doing and supporting them to be who they are and whatnot. But I wouldn't say that when I watch you with your softness and your love of our kids, and when you're making a family dinner and the love that goes in and the time and the energy, and you're reaching out and connecting with them and helping them and all the healing work you do energetically with them, oh God, babe, I love you. I love this life. Like, this is my best life. I'm in it. It took a minute to get here, but God, am I in it? And our kids have such a soft, beautiful, loving space and a powerful healer, energy, spiritual healer to boot. My God.
I love you.
My God. How did I get so wealthy?
Oh,
I know not.
I love you.
So
You're so.
I don't even know what was the topic we were talking about. Our kids and our son reaching out. Yes, if you need help, reach out, ask. And even in another facet of reaching out and asking for help is, even if there's just something that you would like, and maybe you just ask. You never know who will say yes. Ask for what you need. Ask for what you want.
Right.
People, you never know who will say yes.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally
I've
true.
learned that in our business.
You never, ever know.
Yeah. Why not ask?
Totally.
They can always say no.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, taking time to respond to a message.
That's a
really good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I think it's always wise, especially if you're talking about a sensitive subject, to take time to respond before, and never respond in anger, because you can't really take back words or texts that you send, but you can stop. And I have a rule with myself that if I'm dealing with someone and I'm angry and I have to have a conversation, I will not have a conversation when I feel heated. I have to calm down and have clarity before I will discuss something. Now, it doesn't mean in the conversation or in the text or whatever I don't get heated again, but I always calm down and take time to really be sure about what I'm talking about and saying, and never coming from a place of anger. I've just had a lot of experiences where I've been rash and I don't like the outcome, and so I changed that about myself.
I know that even when we're in a conflict, we're having, maybe it's on the term more a fight than a conflict at the front end. When you feel yourself getting very, very angry and saying very hateful things, you oftentimes will say, I'm just stopping because I don't want to say anything else that I'll regret, or, I'm just pissed and angry and I need to work through this a little bit.
Yeah.
And, and if it's a texting conversation and someone sends you a text that really requires you to think deeply about it, say, I need a little bit of time to really consider this and think about it before I respond.
Right.
If you're in a frame of mind to do that.
Right.
That's great. Yeah. Never apologize for taking time to think through things.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, number 5, your past mistakes.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, I love this one. This is
biggie.
Great.
It has a lot of facets to it.
It really does.
You can come at it from a million different angles.
I mean, we could say, mistakes. I don't really believe in mistakes. I do believe in doing things that we wouldn't do, once we know more. So I guess you can call those things mistakes. But, we're all on this evolutionary journey of becoming more and more in the truth of who we are. And we're going to do things that later we wished we would not have done because we know better at the time we're thinking about it. And that is normal. And that's why having to apologize or feel guilty or crappy about your past, if you're moving forward in life and you have a few things from your past that you wish never had happened, just remember, you're just a human being having an experience. And when you know better, you do better. And a lot of times we just do silly, stupid stuff. And it's normal. Everyone does. If everyone were to sit down in front of you, all your friends and all your family, they'll all have stories to tell you about, oh, I made this mistake and I did this and I wish I would have never done this. And it's really time to let go of those things. And if people bring them up and they're like, well, when you did this thing back then, it's really important that you don't engage with their story.
Yeah, it really is. And in relationship, this is a really big deal. That the pulling the past and sitting it all right where you are right now.
Totally.
Never, beating a dead horse is what people maybe call it.
Especially if you grow up on a 2,000 acre ranch. Yeah.
Right. Oh my God, that just, would you like to hear a ranch story that just might surprise you about what life on the ranch looks like?
Yes.
Okay. So beating a dead horse. So instantly I get a vision. We had a lot of horses and cows. And it was always a very tragic thing if you lost a horse. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, you needed them to herd cows, and they were part of the workings.
Was
of
it
the
emotionally
ranch.
taxing?
Well, yeah, for sure, because you are attached to all the horses, for
Yeah.
sure, because you had your own horse. Everyone had their horse, and you know them all. Horses have incredible personalities. Some are bitches, some are asses, some are rude, some are fantastic and sweet and loving, and you can't get them to walk fast enough. My horse was a slow walker.
Really?
Yeah, he was a slow walker. So you'd have to like kind of keep him moving along. But anyway, so horses, when they had died, I remember there was a time that, because my father was a wheat farmer, and we had big wheat bins, or what are they called? Wheat barrels? The big round, huge wheat. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
The hay?
No, that you store your wheat in. Oh God. Okay, we're moving on. The great big silver,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're called.
Oh my God. You're
just having a brain fart.
I am. It'll come. So the horses had gotten into the wheat, and they got some kind of toxin, and we got home from a trip, and I think we had 5 or 6 dead horses out on the ground. It was horrific. It was tragic.
Honey, I didn't know that.
Yes, it was terrible. So, but what we did when the animals would die, they would haul them up the mountain, because on the top of the mountain is where all the farm work and the farmland. And they would drive up the steep dirt road with the tractor with a chain hooked to the leg of the horse to take it up to the pit, which was essentially where they would put all the big dead animals that had died in this big, deep pit.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. But here's life on the ranch.
There's a lot of death on the ranch.
Yeah, there is a lot of death, including my dad. Died on the ranch. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. A little bit of ranch life. Growing up on a 2,000-acre ranch in southeast Idaho.
Wow.
That was part of my experience. So feeding a dead horse.
Wow.
So back to past mistakes and not apologizing. I've had a real issue with this, with wanting to apologize profusely about the things that I feel were discrepant that I did in our relationship, or things I said. I remember one time I called you a hag. Oh, Lord, help us. That was a bad day. Okay, I had never used that word before, and I've never used it again, but it just came out of my face.
Stop being such a hag.
Stop being such a hag. And I remember the feeling of just wanting to, after it was all said and done, we were clear, wanting to apologize and bring it up again and again and again. And you're like, stop, just let it go already.
Oh, see, I just let stuff go pretty quick.
You do. You get really mad really fast. You're very reactive. You feel all your feelings. You talk about it. You work it out, and then you're done. It's done to the point that the next day you're like, oh, was I upset?
Totally.
I love that. I think that's a great
Totally. I always forget.
That's a great way to be.
I was mad yesterday.
But there's no point in holding on to all of your past mistakes.
No.
Let the past stay in the past. Once you've made amends where necessary, and you've done what you felt you needed to do to make sure that whatever was done is realized, that whoever you were involved with, that you're sorry, or you offer your apology.
Yeah.
Then you have to let it go.
Yeah.
For yourself and others.
Totally.
Which this would be a whole nother topic, which is forgiveness. But we'll
get there.
We'll save that for another podcast. So just let the past be in the past. Once it's done, it's done. Move forward. We're all human, making mistakes every single day, which just means when you know better, you'll do better.
Right.
Okay?
That's
okay. It's that easy.
Okay, number 6, don't apologize for saying no.
Oh, God.
This is a good one. This is a really good one.
It is a really good one. Some people have a very hard time saying no.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people that I know very, very well the last couple weeks say, I can't say no. And I'm like, oh boy, that lends to a big, big sorry experience. Because when you feel like you cannot say no, then you are opting out of making empowered choices for yourself. You do not have to agree with everyone. You do not have to agree with anyone. You have a right to choose for yourself. And when you don't want to do something, please, by God, do not do it. Because you will self-defeat, and nothing will make you feel worse in your life than self-defeating by doing something someone else wants you to do because you're too afraid to say no and see how they're going to respond. It's all about disappointing people. It's like, oh, I can't say no. They'll be disappointed. They'll be unhappy with me. So what? When you live your life learning the art of saying no, you are actually teaching others how to do the same.
You are, and you're giving them the opportunity to trust you, because they will know that you wouldn't say yes unless you really wanted to do it. And once people get a feel for you being a very direct and clear person, they will feel more free to come to you if they need something to ask, because they know you won't say yes when you don't really mean it.
Right.
And they'll be able to trust you at a deeper level. Be true to your word. If you're just doing it because you think you should, stop shoulding all over yourself and say no and be in alignment. Do it because you really want to do it, not because you should.
Right.
And if you don't, just say, oh no, I would love to, but I can't. In fact, we had a podcast, didn't we, where we talked about saying no. So
yeah, so
find that podcast because it will help.
And we give you a whole list of how to say no, different ways of saying no that make saying
make
no
it
a lot easier.
Yeah, so find it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, number 7, having a messy house.
Yep. That was another one that I really struggled with. I apologize. I wouldn't let anyone in my house if it was messy back, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If my dishes weren't done, if my pillows weren't fluffed, whatever. Gotta have everything spotless.
Yeah. We have a pretty clean house, but there are times,
most of the time, but there are times it's a shit show.
Yeah.
Just like yours.
And people do come over.
And there's dust on the floor and dishes in the sink.
When people come over, I'm pretty like,
you are super, really awesome with it. You are. You would never apologize. It would never even cross your mind to apologize for your house being messy, would it?
I don't know. I think I do apologize if someone comes over. But it's not because I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. It's just kind of like, this is.
Hey, I love you. My messy house does not reflect that I don't love you.
Well, I think I do it to be polite, but I'm going to have to rethink that because I just feel like houses are lived in, and a lot of times I don't apologize, but I think I have in the past of like, oh gosh. And boy, let me tell you, when I spent years in bed with depression, my house was a effing disaster zone, okay? It was so bad. Holy cow. And if someone would have saw that, I would have definitely been apologizing.
Well, your level of depression, you were incredibly depressed for a good long time.
Yeah, and I was married to a husband that didn't do anything in the house, ever.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, and then when I was pregnant with both kids, I was in bed on IVs the whole time and couldn't get out of bed because I was so sick. So you should have saw the toilet by the time that I delivered the baby.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, and my husband at the time didn't clean it.
Was sick.
Yeah, and I can say that I have a very different husband now that does a lot of house stuff.
Unless my back is out.
Yeah, and then I'll take over.
We're such a good team, though.
Yeah, totally.
Really good.
Okay.
Number 8.
Telling the truth.
Never apologize for telling the truth.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of speaks for
itself. It does. It's solid.
It's like the truth will set you free, and that is so damn true. And if you're a liar, knock it off. It's that simple. Stop lying. Tell the truth. You do not have to apologize for the truth, because the truth is freedom.
And your truth is no one else's.
Right.
So you get to tell your truth as well. And know that people may have an opinion about your truth, but your truth is your truth.
That's true. And that's all that's really true anyway.
Yeah, it's your truth.
Because everyone's truth is their own.
Yeah,
but yeah, totally. Okay, number 9, doing well in life. Oh, I want to talk about this one.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So good.
I remember having a conversation years ago. I called my mom, and I think I heard this from another coach, that sometimes we will hold ourselves back because our loved ones may not do as well in life in different ways, and we don't feel like we should do better than they do. So I remember having a conversation with my mother years ago, and I said, Mom, can I have your permission to make more money than you ever have?
Yeah.
And she laughed. She thought that was so funny. She says, of course, that's ridiculous. And because my mom is one of the hardest working people I have ever seen. And she's gone without a lot in her life. Now she has more than she ever has, but she's worked really, really hard. Her health is failing at this point. So she can't really enjoy all the hard work that she put into life. And I didn't want to work as hard. I didn't want to be a single mom. I didn't want to struggle with money until later in life. I didn't want those things. And I felt guilty because I'd never seen a more loving, accepting, hardworking person. And so I called to get her permission. And now, years later, when I am a lot more conscious than I was back then, I've realized that when you live your best life, and that's what this is about, doing well in life. When you live your best life, you are truly showing people that it is possible. You are giving other people permission to do the same thing. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing cooler than that.
Right, right. And there's a little exercise you can do every single day that will help you live more and more of your best life. When you're driving down the street and you see that sexy ass car drive past you, you look at that, you say, that's for me.
Yep.
And we learned this from Louise Hay.
I know, I love her.
Love her. That's for me. You see a house that you love, that's for me.
Yeah.
You see this or that or an adventure or a vacation, that's for me.
Yep. How many things have we said that's for me, and we have them?
We
now.
do. You see a relationship, that's for me.
Yes.
It's all for us. Us living our best life. We're all here to live our best life together because every single one of us has something awesome to bring to this world that makes life better for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're all here.
Right.
Live your best
and
life.
Don't be afraid to be seen.
Right.
Living your best
Don't
life.
apologize for being
Don't hide
you.
it or think, oh gosh, I don't want anyone to see how good I've got it. Because when people see how good you've got it, yeah, there's going to be some people that are jealous and are like, well, she or he shouldn't have that.
Or no, well, that would be nice.
Oh yeah, that
would be nice. That would be nice if I could have that, if I could have a relationship like yours.
Yeah.
And I want to say, listen, let's talk about all the things that got us here, okay?
Yeah.
The ups and the downs.
Yes.
And, you know.
Yes. So, but most people will look at that and think, oh my gosh, if they have it, that it's possible.
That's right.
For me to have it.
That's right.
And the people that are, then there are people that are like, oh, you're just so lucky. And I'm like, yeah, luck has not
this is
one
choice.
Thing to do about it.
This is choice, baby.
You get to choose what you want. And if you can learn how to allow it to come in, it will just show up in your life. Yep. It's so awesome.
So fucking awesome.
Yeah, totally. So don't ever apologize for doing well in life.
Never.
And number 10, do not apologize about how you really feel about stuff. Right?
Oh yeah. Yep. How you feel matters. It's important for you to realize that it's okay for you to feel your feelings and to share where you're at, how you feel about something.
Sometimes nobody really wants to hear about how you feel, but it's okay to feel your feelings.
Right.
Yeah, because if you're going to sit there and complain and whine about how hard life is, people don't really like to be around that. But the way you feel is it's important that you yourself honor it and don't apologize for how you feel. There are people out there that try to get you to feel differently if you share it. So sometimes, I'm just going to talk about myself. I'm not a big person that's like, oh, I need to go share my feelings about everything with everyone. I absolutely feel my feelings and I do not apologize for them. And a lot of times some of my feelings are irrational and I recognize that. But as we've talked about in a prior podcast in the neuroscience of the brain, when you can label your feelings and own them and say, this is how I feel, then your brain starts to release chemicals that will help you solve problems and have gratitude and do a lot of things. So it's actually really important scientifically to pay attention to how you feel and own it.
Identify how you feel.
Yes.
And then move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about how you feel and not having to have or apologizing for it?
Because this is an area that I've spent some time working around and trying to understand about myself and feeling my feelings. I've been a person that said, why do we even need to have feelings? Feelings shouldn't exist. They should just not be a part of the equation. But that was only because I was so afraid to feel anything other than just happy all the time.
Yeah.
And now I just know that, oh God, the quicker I can identify how I'm really feeling about something, it washes through.
Yeah.
Once I identify it, just like Tiff said, you really do start to feel better. Give a name to your feeling. Label it. How are you feeling? How are you feeling right now, listener? Right now.
Right now.
How are you feeling? I feel happy. I feel excited.
You do?
I have a lot of excitement moving through my body, which is my passionate person aspect of me, I guess. I feel excited. We have a day of coaching clients ahead of us. Typically, we record this podcast on Fridays, but or through the weekend. We'd like to have them launched by Monday morning, but today we're recording today because it just worked out this way.
Yeah.
I'm excited about our clients. I'm so excited to go sit by the ocean, have some ocean time with my sexy wife and to see some friends. And it's just going to be really great. I have a lot that I'm looking forward to. How about you? How are you feeling?
I am so hungry right now. I can't even.
I'm hungry too. I think we better go get a burger.
Yeah, totally.
Because I love
So
burger.
I'm hungry.
Are you serious? You really want a burger?
No.
I knew it. How sad. I could eat a burger every day, people.
It's because you make the world's best burgers.
I love hamburgers.
Okay, you make the world's best burgers, and now every time I go out, I'm sorely disappointed.
They're good.
They are.
It's true. If there was only one food you could eat for the rest of your life, only one, what would it be? Mine would be hamburgers.
Mine would be pizza. And another way I'm feeling is I just really want to kiss your face.
Oh, that
and like
sounds
bite your
so
cheeks.
fun.
I just love you so much.
I love you too, honey. All right, so that was it. The top 10 things you should never apologize for. Needing alone time, speaking your mind, asking for help, taking time to respond to a message, your past mistakes, saying no, having a messy house, telling the truth, doing well in life, and sharing how you really feel. So keep that in mind. We hope that something we said today has inspired and assisted you to feel some happiness or to laugh or to have some insight into yourself. And I have a quote for you before we close by Garrett John. Love is the organizing force behind all that is beautiful, joyful, and creative in this world. So go love somebody today.
And don't forget to
eat dessert first,
because life
is meant to be devoured. We're Tiff and Jack, and we will be back.